Buried Legends of Horror. One dark night, there was a man named Sammy. Sammy was an ordinary person who lived a quiet life, but on that day, his life changed forever. He was wandering through the dark streets of the city when he noticed something strange moving next to him. His shadow was constantly moving and following him wherever he went. Sammy felt a shiver running through his body as he noticed the terrifying shadow moving next to him. The street was dark and quiet, and the more Sammy tried to accelerate, the faster the shadow accelerated, chasing him angrier. There was no one else in the streets, and all Sammy heard was the sound of his hurried steps and the heavy breathing of the terrifying shadow. As Sammy tried to escape, he felt fear rising inside him. The more he tried to head towards bright places, the faster the shadow moved closer and closer to him. The streets were dark and deserted, and the more Sammy stopped for breath, the more terrifying sounds surrounded him. He felt like he was in a nightmare that he couldn't escape from. Sammy found himself seeking shelter in an abandoned building. He entered the building and found himself in a dark and deserted room. The furniture was covered in dust and spiders were creeping in the corners. Whenever Sammy moved, he heard strange noises emanating from the walls and floor. He felt that he was not alone, as if there were evil beings watching him. While Sammy was walking around the building, he discovered a hidden room. He entered the room cautiously and found himself in front of a wall full of strange symbols and terrifying images. The walls were covered in dried blood and evil voices echoed around him. Sammy could not bear the terrifying scene and fainted. When Sammy regained consciousness, he found himself in a dark, dimly lit room. He was bound and unable to move. He desperately tried to break free, but the harder he tried, the tighter the chains clung to him. Sammy realized that he had fallen into a terrifying nightmare and that there was no escape from it. In the end, Sammy faces the terrifying truth behind the relentless shadow hunt. He discovers that the shadow is part of his dark self and that he cannot escape from it. The shadow has full power and authority over Sammy and realizes that he will be haunted forever. Do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell button.